Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakal Kadosh, double honors to elders and apostles, a great millstone who are teaching this truth, and Ashash Yakim that's out there in the four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth, going into the cities and risking your lives to do so. As you know, a lot of people are going to be celebrating this wicked festivity known as Samhain, and yet at the same time, war is all around, while people are going to celebrate that bullshit. So, anyhow, had to pick up the sign for a minute there. But anyhow, so what are we to do in the meantime, because we know not to be partakers in this, but yet, we're surrounded by these wicked evildoers. Well, now's the time to rejoice because we see Esau's kingdom beginning to fall, as we know that their bullshit election is coming up, and so they're setting off false flags. So we know that they're desperate, to save their power because they know that they're losing their power as all these other smaller countries now are standing up to America and the beast. Pretty much are saying, well, why should we bow down to America anymore when Russia will be a guard unto us? And that's what's happening is they're purchasing the S-400s, S-300 systems, and Russia's being a guard unto these other places. So now they're able to stand up and say no, we don't want you here, and so that they have to pull off these false flags to make you believe that there's a terror attack. That's why all the bombs were sent off recently, and that's why, the bigger one, because everybody knows who the synagogue of Satan is. Everybody knows that those are not the real Jews. That the real Jews are blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans and make the nation of Israel. And that those Amalekites aren't the real Jews. That pretty much... we've been catfished, and they're even starting to show it more that the Messiah is, in fact, a so-called black man. If you watch the movie Uncle Drew and other movies, they're showing him as a black man because they know now that they can't hoax us anymore with the image of Caesar Borgia. But yet, people still want to celebrate Samhain as well as, Christmas, which is the death of our Messiah when they put up theirs, So it's really the celebration of the death of Yahushai. So I'm going to read out of Isaiah chapter 14, starting in verse 16, and just talk about Esau, Edom. They shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Talk about these so-called white people, the Edomites, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Yeah, man, they got death row. They, pretty much Emancipation Proclamation did set us free. In fact, we're still here. Nobody ever bought us back, just like the rest of the scriptures told us back in Deuteronomy. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch. Talking about you Edomites, the abominable branch. And as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit as a carcass trodden under foot. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. And that's the time that we're looking forward to, that this place is going to be destroyed permanently, because even the rest of the world now can't wait till we receive our power. They'd rather be slaves underneath us rather than this current system, because, of course, this place has to be destroyed, And I'm going to read out of Revelation chapter 17, verse 4. Because, of course, we're talking about America, Babylon the Great. Starting in verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, because of course, this whole kingdom was established upon the enslavement of us and the death upon us. They slaughtered everyone. Where didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, the beast that carrieth her, which had the 7 heads and 10 horns. Which is talking about the power structure, which is the revised Roman Empire, the EU and the UN NATO. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, and they that dwell on earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, and they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And here is wisdom, here is the mind of which hath wisdom. The 7 heads and 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, which is talking about America, Babylon the Great. It's not talking about the Vatican. It's not talking about Rome, though this is part of the revised Roman Empire. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is out of the 7 and goeth into perdition. And of course, because we know that America came out of, what you would call the British Empire, which is a part of the revised Roman Empire. Verse 14, they shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And we hope to be among them that are called, chosen and faithful. That's why we persevere doing this, so that way we can seal the elect and finally get out of here. No longer will people like me have to be a confusion of face. We'll get our bodies back. We will all be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And we will see this place destroyed once and for all. So, of course, like everything else, though, these terrorists, because that's who these Edomites are, these terrorists, a lot of people are going to be killed over this wicked festivities, starting with Sam Hain and everything else. You notice that the driving is out of control, because, of course, that evil wickedness, that spirit is upon them to do evil. Because what's the whole purpose of dressing up in a costume? If everybody's dressed up in a costume, that means that you can get away. You can get away with murder. And that's what these court systems are meant for, getting away with murder. You notice that every time that they so-called catch somebody, that he gets away because they don't have enough evidence to keep him. The Edomites are found not guilty. But if it happens to a brother, they throw the book at him. They shoot first, ask questions later. Even if the suspect really, truly is not the one who committed the crime, they shoot first and ask questions later. You hear it all the time about brothers being shot by the fucking pigs. Well, think about it though. The Most High controls the sword. The sword comes after those that, refuse this, Because here it is, we've been out here teaching for a long time. And yet, they mock at us, they laugh at us, So, what are the choices the Most High have to do in order to cleanse us? He has to kill 2/3. And that's why you see all these incidents with the fucking police and just people getting killed, Of course. That's just part of the cleansing, But we pray that we're part of the first fruits, so that way we can finish what we got to do so we can get out of here. It's very dangerous to come out, and proclaim this, but yet we shall not be afraid. Because we can call upon our power, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Calling on the other names like Jesus or God, it's not going to help. Look at all these storms that have taken place. Call upon those names, the storm still thrust through. Venice is underwater now. That entire city is like underwater now, So we know that the Most High is visiting this place. And yet we're seeing more chariot sightings. This is a good thing. That means that our work is just about up. So like everything else, come out here and proclaim this while we still can. We haven't much longer. For that, I want to say, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakal Kadosh, Brakatam. Hope this has been edifying. Shalom.